to be talking about resumes, right? Things that we have on a resume and basically the information that we include. So this is part of Unit 9.4. So fortunately, we are done with Unit 9. By the way, I already created the assignment for Cambridge for Unit 9. So make sure that you get it done before Sunday, okay? So the due date, it's Sunday, and it will be open the whole day. But make sure to do it on Sunday. And after that, you won't have to worry about any homework on the class. So we have here a job search, which is writing the main part of a resume. We're going to see how it's composed, things that we have to add. And let's go ahead and begin. So we're going to be reading two texts. So there are going to be two texts, and we will have to decide what kind of texts are those. So we're going to say if it's a cover letter, if it's a job application, a guidebook, a passport application, a job ad, or a resume. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and read them, and then we're gonna see what are the two types of text that we just read. Okay, so for this instance, I would need two people. One will read this first one, and the second person will read the second one. I have Alan, you will do this first one, and then Jonathan, you will do the next one, okay? So go for it.
Qualifications?
Actually, read the whole. The description, responsibilities, and qualifications, please.
Okay. Um, Description. We are looking for someone reliable and intelligent to join our growing team. The perfect applicant is ready for a new challenge. This is an excellent opportunity if you're interested in a people profession. Salary is based on experience. Responsibilities. You will help us design our programs and increase our business. You must to be able to deal with difficult customers calmly. Working hours are usually from 9 o'clock a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. But you also have to work two evenings a week. Qualifications. You need to have a 2-year or 4-year degree in education, business, or similar. You should have at least 2 years of work experience. You need strong communication skills and basic computer skills, and you must write well. You need to work well in a group and by yourself.
All right, thank you so much. So this is one of the texts. Let's see the second one. Oh, and by the way, so we have here some information of glossary. Applicant, it's basically the people that applies for a job, which in this case we can be applicants, right? And qualification, it's just the skills, the experience that the person earns or for a certain job or a certain activity, okay? So those are the two maybe new words for you, maybe not, but here they are very relevant for resumes. So let's go to the second text. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Okay. Jacob Bradley, 298 Willow Street, Denver, Colorado, 80123, 303-555-2910. jbradley23@netmail.com. Professional profile. I have a degree in education with 1 year of experience as a teacher's assistant at a high school. I am bilingual English and Spanish. My biggest accomplishment so far is starting an after-school technology program for teens. I'm also a soccer coach, and I play on a basketball team. I learn new things quickly and get along well with people of all ages. experience.
All right. Thank you so much. So we got stopped in experience. Later on, we will see the rest of this document, but let's go ahead and answer once again, go back a little bit on those two questions. So based on what we just read and we just discussed, what are the two texts? What type of text are those two? So let me share the actual text on the chat just in case to get it as a reference. Go ahead, Ismail.
I think the first text it's a job ad, and the second text it's a resume.
Yes, so the first one, it cannot be an application because it's not the actual form of filling out with your information, but just a job ad, right? And then a resume because it's giving like this personal experience, this personal information. So yeah, excellent. So let's go ahead and go into more deeper details on the text. So first question, what kind of person does the employer want to hire? So I shared with you on the chat the information. Now you tell me what type of employer does this job ad wants to hire? All right, let's see. Someone reliable and intelligent. Okay, that is one of the things. What else? So yes, reliable and intelligent. What else? What other characteristics? Jonathan.
They want perfect applicant. Well, uh, is ready for a new challenge.
Okay, that it's new for open like to a new challenge. Okay, Ismael.
Someone who can design programs and be reliable.
Okay, to design programs and reliable. Yes. What else? What else are they looking for? And then we have Ismael.
Someone who be able to deal with difficult customers.
Excellent. So yeah, difficult customers, right? So we have lots of things that these people are asking. Also, work of experience, right? 2 years of work experience, the strong communication because of those hard uh, customers, right? Also a degree, right? A degree in education, business, or similar. So these are the things that sometimes they can be very common to see that the places where you go and ask for a job can have. So sometimes I emphasize this because I see it all the time that they don't want to hire you because you don't have experience, that but then you say, well, how am I going to get the experience if they don't let me work on that field? So sometimes it's one of the struggles that we have, especially when we get out of college, right? But nothing impossible. We are always lucky to have that one person that believes in us and that thinks that we are reliable. So they give us the opportunity. So next question: if the person is hired, when will he or she have to work? So let's say that the person is hired. What will be the work? When will she start? She or he will start to work. And again, you can go back to the text in case that you don't have it handy. It is on the chat. So when will the person have to work or will have to start working? Does it say like so what would be the schedule that they will have if the person is hired? Jonathan.
The person will work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., but also they have to work 2 evenings a week.
Excellent. So yes, the person will have to work from 9 to 5, but also 2 days, 2 evenings a week. Okay, excellent. And last question. Compare the profile that we saw about Jacob, and do you think that he should apply to this job? Yes, no, and why? So compare that resume that we looked at and see if he will be a good candidate for that specific job. And if so, why? And if not, also why? So take a look again on those two texts and then analyze the information and see what would you determine out of that curriculum. Think about yourselves as being recursos humanos or human resources. Would you hire Jacob based on that profile? Go ahead, Ismael.
I'm thinking yes, because his profile is good. Instead, he only have 1 year of experience, but his skills are good for the job.
Okay, so maybe not focusing on the experience, but um, the skills. The skills are the ones that will help a lot. Obviously, on number three, it varies among the options. But now, as a last question, Based on what we see on the qualifications, on the responsibilities of the job, what kind of job do you think the ad is about? So what is a job that they are hiring? What do you think? What place could this be? What kind of job do you think this ad is from? Maybe creating ads, okay. What other options? So what other options? So one, it can be like a job related to creating ads. What else? What other type of jobs can be hiring people with those type of skills? Think about maybe the degrees that they are asking, the characteristics, the skills. What kind of job do you think? On the other class, I heard that they said maybe it's a bank. Maybe a bank, it's requiring or getting those hirement requirements, okay? What else? Journalist, okay, could be. It doesn't specifically say, so this is no right or wrong answer. So maybe a journalist, maybe because of the schedule, could be dealing with difficult customers. Well, maybe people that do have reports or something. So, all right, then let's move on. Now, one of the things that I want to emphasize is about the use of capital letters one more time. Why? Because I see that sometimes when you turn in your assignments or when you do your writing test, I notice that there is still these same mistakes. So I want to clarify once again the information because this is very fundamental. Don't forget that I believe I once mentioned that even writing, it's giving our impression for people. So we have to be aware at all times how do we write because that is just like our physical image. It is the way that people are going to perceive us, right? Especially like in maquila setting, obviously you don't know everyone, right? But imagine that you send an email without that delicate information and even those details about capitalizing letters or making separate sentences. That will look very awful to that person because this person will say something like, well, this other person doesn't know even take it doesn't care of the details. So it is very important to always remember that we capitalize letters for I, the pronoun I. I has to be always, always, always capitalized. Whenever you see an I by itself, boom, there you have to capitalize it. Um, if a pronoun, because I've seen people capitalizing pronouns, yes, they can be capitalized, but they have to be at the beginning of sentences. If, like, for example, he or she it's at the middle of a sentence, it's not necessarily to capitalize because it's a pronoun, only with the exception of letter I. I, it's the only one allowed to be capitalized. Also for names of people, places, companies, nationalities, languages, schools, etc. And don't forget, every sentence that you start, every sentence that you will have to have a capital letter at the beginning, okay? And no matter what, you will have to always end your sentences with a period. Period, and that will tell us, hey, that's it. Now move on to the next idea. Because it's a way to separate and maintain the order. And also, don't forget that whenever I tell you, hey, your sentence is too long, that's when you use the periods because that makes sentences shorter and easier to the reader um, to read them, right? And then again, we have the period, the comma, the question mark, apostrophe, exclamation mark, semicolon, all those type of punctuation. One of the things with the comma is how we use it. So these are like very few tips to have more control of our use of commas. Remember, when we have coordinating conjunctions like but, and, yet, so, etc., we have to use a comma before, okay? So for example, here we have the conjunction but, so we use a comma before, not after, but before. Then we have, remember that time when we talked about independent clauses and dependent clauses? Well, if you are starting with a dependent clause, you have to add a comma, okay? And then the independent clause can be left alone. So commas can be also used in clauses. All right. Sometimes when we are writing, there is information that we could say it's extra information or additional information that maybe it's not that relevant in the sentence. So for example, if you say that day, comma, which was Fat Tuesday, was the only day I could sleep. So if you delete this information, it will still make sense. So that day was the only day I could sleep and nothing happens. It still makes sense. But if you are adding information not in parentheses, you have to use the commas in between because that gives us the reader, oh, this is extra information, maybe not necessary, but they wanted to give it. So this is a way to separate that kind of idea. Then we have the use of comma whenever we're listing things, right? Apples, oranges, and then comma, comma. And then obviously before the conjunction. Also, there can be short series or short lists or even longer ones, right? The coach promised to win the game, comma, go to the playoffs, comma, and win the Super Bowl. So this is also used for listing. Listing can be also use commas. And last but not least, it's about when you are giving out quotations. So if you want to state something that someone else said, the proper and the appropriate way of doing it, it's stating the name of the person and then saying it stated, and then comma, open quotation marks, give the sentence that that person said, close quotation marks, and put a period after you close the quotation marks. All right. So don't forget, whenever you are giving the information from someone else, like stated, he said, he, etc., use a comma before opening the quotation marks. So any questions on regards the use of periods, commas, all that? And I emphasize this because it is a very common mistake that we make. And I don't want for you to like ignore that part because it is very, very important. Super important, I would say. So Questions, raise your hand. Thumbs up if everything is clear. And sorry for repeating this information, but I think it's very fundamental. Okay, so let's move on. Let's do one of those kind of exercises that I like for you to make because I think it's a way for you to practice a little bit more on punctuation. I don't want for you to be cheating, okay? I want for you to make it on your own. Try your best. Remember, you're not fooling me, you are fooling yourself. So let's keep practicing, even though we get mistakes. I mean, this is not going to be evaluated. It's a way for you to see how your progress is. So I didn't want to, for the semester to end and not confess you guys that I love Selena. I am a big fan of Selena, and that's why I wanted to share you a small fragment of the book that her husband wrote for her. Um, this is by Chris Perez, and it's To Selena with Love. I would have to confess also that I've already read it like 3 times, and I'm not sure if even more. But I wanted to share with you this small fragment. Just a perspective of how he thought about her. But more than that, I want for you to practice. And I just wanted to show you just a small of my tastes and that I have. So for this activity, I will give you 10 minutes, 15 minutes the most to see for you to practice. Notice that there are a few words that are misspelled. So misspelling, it's also very important. Try to capitalize, use punctuation, add commas, periods, etc. to here on the text, okay? So no cheating. Let's try our best to complete this exercise by yourself. So 15 minutes, it's 152, um maybe at 207, I believe. Yeah, if not my math, it's not that bad. I think it's 207. So I will give you some time. Once you are done, just share it on the chat. I will give you that participation. But then, as you know, as we always do it, I will give you the actual fragment from the reading, and you will have to compare yourself with the one that I'm showing, that I will show. I'm sorry. So let's get on that. So 15 minutes. If you need me, I will be here. Okay, so a couple more minutes and then we will change to the actual text, okay? So hold on your own texts. Take a look once I provide you with the actual one from the fragment, and we will see how did it go with you. Okay, so let's see the actual text, I'm sorry. Again, go back to your own paragraph that you wrote. That way you can compare to the actual one that I have here. And this is extracted from the actual book, okay? That is the punctuation that they used. So there you go. So here we have that obviously letters I will always have to be capitalized. Here we can see the use of commas, laughed, it was misspelled, and now here's the spelling. I don't remember what other word. I'm sorry. So here we are. Um, commas, maybe, and this is maybe because we've seen that whenever we use the word because, it's not necessary to use a comma. Maybe it was a mistake, but I would say that no comma should have been used here. Other than that, I think everything else makes sense. So take a look on that. Take a look on your own text. I will give you like a minute or so for you to compare it with yours, and then we will move on. Also, anything that you noticed, anything that you have questions on? All right, so let's go ahead and go to the next part. I always try to keep this type of activity so we can continue with the practice. It is always good to see maybe what things we can work on. Maybe you need to work on more on the commas. Maybe you need to work more on the use of I and all the details. So let's continue. Now, we're going to continue with the same. Remember that we were looking at the profile of Jacob. Well, now here is the rest of his resume. And go ahead. I would need two people maybe to help me out reading the information. So one is going to be experience and education, and the other person, skills and activities. So Alan, the first two, experience education, and then David, skills and activities. Go for it.
Okay. Experience. Teacher's assistant, Fairmont High School, Denver, Colorado. Help plan and teach business and English classes to students in grades 10 to 12. Organize classroom projects and day trips for the students. Barista Carlos Coffee, Denver, Colorado. prepared hot and cold drinks for customers, cleaned machines, work areas, and customer sitting areas. Education. Bachelor of Arts in Education, University of Colorado Boulder.
Skills: fluent in English and Spanish, beginner level Japanese. Experience in MS Office, Adobe Photoshop, web design. Excellent time management and communication skills. Activities: coach, soccer for kids, neighborhood program. Member, Hips Community Basketball.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Okay, so what are basically the four main sections? Jonathan.
The four main sections are experience, education, skills, and activities.
Excellent. So yes, the four main are experience, education, skills, and activities. Now, what jobs has he had? What are the jobs that he had? All right, Ismael.
He was teacher's assistant and barista in Carlos Coffee.
Okay, but then what of those two does he actually has right now? Which one is the recent one? So taking a look, so we have to like the teacher's assistant and then the barista, which is actually the one that he still has or the most recent one. Ismael, do you want to say it or you forgot to lower your hand?
I forgot, Miss. Sorry.
No problem. So whenever you write a resume, how do you accommodate your jobs experiences? Do you go from the oldest to the newest or from the newest to the oldest? Ismael?
The oldest from the newest.
Okay. Well, in this case, what we will see whenever we write a resume is that the one that we are recently on, we put it on the top. So it goes from the recent one all the way to the oldest one, okay? This is because you are showing like your history, but at the same time, which was your first job, then which was the second one, etc. And then at the end, at the very, very top, you will find always the recent one. So that's a way you have to kind of write down your resumes. You have to put the recent one on the top so that they can know what exactly you're doing at the moment. So then we could say that the one that he still have, it's the teacher assistant, which is this one. All right. Any questions, guys? So far, thumbs up if everything is clear. Okay. So yeah, always think about The recent one has to be on the top, the very first one. So on the next activity, there will be some things that you have to have in a resume. However, Jacob's resume was not complete, but there were few things that he missed out. So let's go ahead and read them and check the ones that he actually did on his own resume, and then we will share the answers all together, okay? For this, I will give 3 minutes, okay? So read those sentences, go back to the resume, check if it's something that he did, and if not, just leave it in blank, okay? Okay, so the way we will do it is you're gonna read the sentence and then you're gonna say yes or no, okay? That way we will know if it was something done on the resume. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. 6 people. So first sentence, go ahead and read it and tell us yes or no. Ismael.
Number one, use present verbs to describe a current job and past verbs to describe past jobs. It's yes.
Great. Thank you. Number 2. Aaron.
Include the dates of for your past jobs and put the most recent one first. I think it's yes.
All right. In this one, we would say no. So yes, he put the most recent one, but he didn't include the dates. Remember that it is also good to include like the month and the years, um, on how much time did you spend on your job. So maybe for the second one, it would be no because of that, because of the dates. Number 3, and thank you. Alan, go for it.
Use bullet points and incomplete sentences with no subject is yes.
All right, thank you. Next one. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Okay, list your degrees or certificates Include dates and put the most recent ones first. It is no.
Excellent. So no, because he only did the one for university, right? Not exactly the ones for elementary, middle school, etc. Thank you. Next one, Ismael.
List skills that are useful for jobs. They can be skills you learn or personal skills. I think it's yes.
Yes, right? Yeah. So actually there were skills written and everything. So thank you so much. And last one. What about last one? Go for it, Alan.
List activities and interests that show you are active, creative, or good with people. I'm not very sure, but yes. Okay.
Yeah, excellent. All right, so all these things we have to consider. Maybe Jacob forgot to include all the degrees that he has had, and also the dates, right? When did you start working in that place, and when did you ended working there? Okay, so very important that you include the dates also for the degrees. It is very, very fundamental. So, one of the things that you have noticed now is that whenever you're talking about the recent job, you use simple present. But when you talk about the simple past, it's for the jobs that you previously had, okay? So, for example, here on Jacob's resume, you can see that help plan and teach businesses, everything is in present. But then with the barista, we can see that prepared in past, cleaned in past, work areas, and customer seating. So we are seeing that they are using the past tense for jobs that he previously had, and the one that he is currently on, it is in present, okay? Take in consideration those things because you are about to make a resume, okay? So now you're gonna do your own resume. Maybe you already have one, but I want for you to do it completely. So not only this part, but also the one that we read, in which, there you go. So you're gonna start with your name, your address, phone number, email address, and then professional profile, like a brief description about yourself. And then you will add the experience, the skills, the what else was it? Activities, and I forgot the last one. And education. So you're gonna be completing one whole resume, okay? So you will start with the personal stuff, the brief description about yourself, and then you will write experience, education, skills, and activities. If you want, go ahead and do a very professional one that maybe you can later use. But if not, just try to complete those points that I'm asking, okay? Begin with your description part, then experience, and end with the activity. So basically what we just saw on this one. Okay. And you're gonna turn it in on a obviously the address, the phone number, all that information doesn't need to be accurate, meaning that you can just make up some address, and you're gonna turn it in on an assignment that I will create on Teams, okay? I will have you guys to work on that for the rest of the class. This will be the last activity. So make sure to work on that because that is going to be taken as assistance, okay? So make sure that you complete it by today. So let's go ahead and work on your own resumes. If you have questions, I will be here. And in the meantime, I will be creating your the assignment for this, okay? So let's get to work. So there you go. Now I have created um, your assignment. So still, if you have questions, let me know, okay? Sorry, guys, I don't know what's going on with my phone. I have to end my call and then back again. Give me a second. All right. Can you see my presentation on your side?
Yes, miss.
Yes.
Okay, so I think it's my cell phone that's acting a little bit weird now. All right, let me try it again. I'll be back. Okay, I think I'm back now. So I'll be here for any questions that you have. All right, guys. Well, it is almost time. So, um, I will have opened this assignment for you guys to turn it in later on the day. Don't forget that it closes at 11:59. And just before we leave, don't forget to give a comment on something that you learned, something that you liked about today, something new, something that you already knew, anything, any opinion, any comment. And I just want to thank you for today. And I want to wish you great vacations, guys. Relax. Do things that you stopped doing because of school, maybe, but try to take time for your own. This is a good time to kind of reset everything that we have and just push it to the last evaluation that we're having. So um, be attentive tomorrow. I will be posting your grades. I hope that I have them by 1 p.m. And other than that, don't forget to do your Cambridge Unit 9. It's already available for you and it's due on Sunday, April 10th, okay? And I think that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for everything, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Enjoy your vacations.
Thank you, Miss. Have a great vacations. See you. Take care.
Thank you,
Thank
teacher. See you
you.
in 2 weeks. Have a nice vacation.
You too, guys. Have great vacations. Relax and enjoy your days.
Thank you, teacher. See you.
Thank you, teacher. See
See
you.
you. See you, everyone. Bye bye. Thank you. See you in 2 weeks. That's right, Omar. Have a good day and have a great rest of vacations. Bye bye.